My name is Arantza Popo. My profession, I'm a comic artist and illustrator and also a zinester. And my affiliation, I go to USC, University of Southern California. Yeah, and what I hope to get from it? Okay, because I'm also looking at the, okay, nice. Well, I know Maite, she had originally reached out to me to speak, and I thought this essentially what she wanted me to speak about was just really interesting to me. And I've never gone to a conference at all. Usually when you're an illustrator, a comic artist, you're just in a dark room scribbling by yourself for hours in a day. So it was nice to think of something that was collaborative and community oriented and kind of getting to share also my work with those groups of people. And also to also just be in a space where I can look at my work more critically and speak about my work more critically. So yeah, that was what inspired me to come here, to just kind of be in an environment where I can speak about just comics in general a lot more critically. And in terms of what I hope to get from it, well, I think already at least this is the second day what I've gotten from it. It's just really, really nice to meet a lot of the scholars here. I just think it's really cool that that there's an entire field of people just so enthusiastic and dedicated to this study of comic studies and pop culture studies. So I think that just kind of getting those insights, and yeah, just kind of getting to know this kind of new environment for me has been really cool. And I hope to just, I don't know, get to meet more people and get to learn more about this very niche world of comic studies. Yeah. So I've done my panel, but my panel earlier today was at 11, and essentially my panel was about, I think the title for it was Scrapping Comic Zines and Reparative Justice. And so essentially it's kind of talking about how we can use the medium of comics and zines to create reparative justice and essentially facilitate healing, whether it's of trauma or other kind of just vulnerable identities or experiences. And at least for me, I talked about essentially using comics as kind of a kind of puzzle piece in terms of piecing together different and distant pieces of memory in order to create kind of a coherent narrative for yourself and your own memory. And again, kind of then through that kind of reconciling with any kind of trauma or just kind of harms done. And so that was essentially my own kind of spiel in terms of what I talked about during the panel. Yeah, it's a great question. Oh God, work. I'm also trying to learn, this is my first time too, just learning to speak about my work. So it's been a good exercise. I guess in terms of, good question. I guess in terms of my own work, I don't know, I think at least with my own work, I'm just really dedicated to I don't know, kind of pushing compositionally, I guess, the bounds of what comics is. Because I remember I was making my most recent zine and I was realizing there's not really any panels in here. It's mostly just drawings that are being juxtaposed within pages. But even though it was kind of seemed more like an illustrated book, I was but it still has a language of comics. I feel the way that even I approach my life, whether it's just speaking with people or thinking about the past, or even just kind of looking at my environment, I'm always kind of categorizing it and compartmentalizing it through comics. And so I feel comics isn't only a part of my own artistic practice, but it kind of flows out in different manners, even in my own kind of lived experience.